Alright guys, before we get into New York City, I want to show you one amazing record store. It's called Tunes in Hoboken, New Jersey. I was here 4 years ago, before this channel even began. Let's go inside and see what I can find. Alright guys, so first stop on my trip to New York was actually in New Jersey, as mentioned, at Tunes in Hoboken. Found some really interesting stuff I did not expect. 3 records, 3 different genres, let's go. First up are chiptune wonderkind Annex, and this is their album Endless Fantasy. So really cool gatefold in the middle here, and the record itself is on a beautiful clear with multicolor splatter. This is not a cheap record to find. It's actually, it goes for maybe double, sometimes even triple this. I got it for 20 bucks, it goes for a lot more. And if you like chiptunes, this is definitely one of the bands that is the premier, kind of leading the pack. This is a great album. So, did not own it, now I do. For $2, I found Fascination by The Faint. This is not my favorite album by The Faint, but for $2, I couldn't not pick it up. There are no inner sleeves right now. I think there might have been printed inner sleeves in the first copy, I don't know. But for $2, how can you turn it down? The discs were pretty clean. Finally, a relic of the Mylene Sheath, a post-rock label that I used to buy all sorts of stuff from. This is Junius, Reports from the Threshold of Death. Really good post-rock stuff. Junius is kind of a darker post-rock than some of the other stuff. A little heavier. This is a white with blue haze, and this is not an easy variant to come across. The blue haze is actually somewhat translucent and the white is opaque. So it looks really nice, and this record's really good. Don't own it, and it was only $8. The only copy on Discogs of me making this video was like 80 bucks or something. So, goodbye. Good job, Tunes. Alright, just got to the first store on my list today, Human Head Records. I haven't done a video here before, but it is one of my favorite stores, probably in all of New York. So, excited to see what I find in here and show you guys what the store is all about. Let's go. Human Head was amazing to me. Again, one of my favorite record stores. Travis is the coolest dude who owns the store. Talk to him briefly. Guys, I am here with Travis, the owner of Human Head. What's going on, man?
What's up?
I met you maybe 4 or 5 years ago. You guys been open, right?
Probably the first week, maybe, of the existence of this place.
Tell people why they should come to Human Head. Don't hold back.
Verbal beratement from the staff.
True.
You know, like a loss of self-esteem and probably overpriced, you know, like poorly graded records.
I'm incredibly excited about what I picked up. You saw what I got. I spent more than anticipated, but that tends to be the case here.
You're not going to get Novos Baianos anywhere else.
Spoilers! Just kidding. Congrats on 5 years, man.
Thank you.
This is a mandatory stop for anyone that's in New York. And the store itself is just wonderful. I came in and they were playing this record. Manuel Gotsching, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, I never do. E2 to E4. It looks like a chessboard, sounds like heaven. It's a krautrock inspired progressive electronic album. Really, really good stuff. Really peaceful, pretty, unique, and interesting. Just the way it's arranged is not your average record when it comes to this genre. And this is really hard to find. The original pressings go for, I think, hundreds. This is a repress. But he was playing this in the store when I walked in, and I was like, all right, I need this. And I was like, all right, is this the original press? Because I knew I couldn't afford it. And he said no. I asked how much it was. I assumed it was going to be, I don't know, 40, 50. It was 25. So for 25 bucks, could not turn this down. I was like, I'm buying this, like, don't put it back on the floor, this is mine. Travis also tends to go to Brazil a few times a year, which is good for me, because I don't go to Brazil a few times a year. And he picked up a record by Novos Baianos, which is one of my favorite bossa nova bands from Brazil, and this is a record you never ever see. In all my digging, I've never seen this, whether it was on a back wall or in a bin. I've never seen this album, and it's the first Brazilian pressing of it. Cost me 60 bucks, but it's pretty clean. I would say VG+, and if I were to get it online, I'd be paying closer to $100 with shipping for probably a copy that sounds worse than this. So I was lucky to find this. I don't have a huge Novos Baianos collection. Akabu Shorare is their album that everyone knows. Vinyl Me Please did a pressing of it, and it's probably their most famous, but this one is almost as good, and anything of theirs that I can stumble upon, I'll probably want to buy. Thank you, Travis and Human Head. Great digs. Next up is Academy Annex in Brooklyn. There are 3 Academy Records locations, and this one I think is my favorite. Historically, I found some really good stuff inside. Let's see if today holds up. Let's go. Academy in Brooklyn had a couple interesting finds. Nothing crazy, but just some cool stuff. First one being Floating Points Cooper. I don't know if you pronounced that right. Kuiper? Q-U-I-P-E-R. I had a friend recommend me this band and say that they're one of the coolest kind of experimental electronic artists they know. I didn't really know this album, but this was sealed for $8, and I thought I would take a chance because I trust that person's taste in music, and they would probably not lead me astray. So hopefully Floating Points is as good as I hear it is. We'll have to see, but excited, $8. And then I got Dynamite D, By the Way. This is, I guess, a turntablism style beat hip-hop record, and it features Kid Koala on one of the tracks. It was half off, so for $2 I got this LP. I listened to some of it on the turntable in the store, and it sounds pretty cool. It's a little repetitive at times, but it's good stuff, and the cover art is why I grabbed it. It's such an interesting kind of like steampunk pimp. I don't know what this is, but I like it a lot, and anything that Kid Koala is involved with is probably quality. Alright, next up we have Record Grouch. Only lives up to half its name because they have a lot of good records, but they've never been grouchy and always showed me some really good stuff in the past. Let's go inside, see what's going on. Record Grouch was also pretty good to me. I got some interesting stuff. First thing is Freddie Gibbs' Straight Killa. It's a picture disc from 2008, I believe. And this is an earlier Freddie Gibbs album, but he has kind of blown up since then. This is not super easy to find either. Usually goes for about 40-50 bucks. They got it for 24 bucks. So early Freddie Gibbs, yes please. I will definitely grab that. And more hip hop, of course. As you guys know, I love MF Doom, specifically Victor Vaughn, which is his alter ego. Vaudeville Villain is the first Victor Vaughn album, and this is a single from Vaudeville Villain. Now, all these songs are on the album. I got this for collector's purposes because pretty much anything MF Doom touches I would like to own, and this is a single that just has Ray Dawn, the drop, and Change the Beat with a couple instrumentals. So, yeah, I just had to pick this up. I know it's not necessarily something that has a unique track on it from the project, but you don't really ever see Victor Vaughn stuff out in the wild, so I grabbed it for $12. It is now dark, which signifies the passage of time. I have been record shopping literally all day, and I've saved one of the best for last. We are at Limited to One, a store I've wanted to check out for a very long time. They specialize in the things that I love, which is limited records, colored pressings, and probably some expensive good stuff. So I'm a little nervous to go in, but I'm excited to check it out. So let's descend down the stairs and go. Limited to One is a store I've wanted to check out for a long time. I talked to the owner, Christian, on Instagram a lot. Super nice, super smart dude. A great addition to the New York City scene. I talked to him for a brief minute about the store. I am here with Christian, the owner of Limited to One. How's it going?
Good.
Your selection, it's like looking at my own collection.
Thank you so much.
Which is crazy to say to anyone else.
And also, it's for sale, just like your collection.
Oh, well, part of it.
Most of it.
I love the layout of the store. You know, it's like supposed to be like a Japanese record store, like inspired by that, and you can tell that everything's in its right place to make a Radiohead reference.
Yeah, of course.
Why should people come to this store who are watching this video?
We specialize in used contemporary music. It's just something that doesn't happen. Like every time I go to a record store, you know, like I just want newer music, use newer music, and I just have trouble finding that. We specialize in harder to find stuff, rare and out of print and limited presses. I just wanted to make a store that me and my friends would want to shop at. The idea was like I wanted a store full of wall records where it's not just the walls.
You definitely nailed it. This is one of my favorite stores in New York now. And I dug through it, and you know what? I didn't pick up as much as I thought I would because I kind of own a lot of it. It caters in limited pressings, like you mentioned, and like modern stuff. You know, you're not going to find a lot of dollar bin fodder in there. It's a small store, very well curated. A lot of the stuff in the bins that I would have purchased, I already own. So the dude has an excellent taste in music. And something I did find that I did not expect to find is Perfection by Cass McCombs. I believe this is his second album, and this is the white vinyl variant. $40, great price for it. And Cass McCombs is just one of the best like singer-songwriters. If you like Jose Gonzalez, Damian Jurado, stuff like that, you will really like Cass McCombs, and I'm looking to get some of his harder to find stuff. This checks one off the list for me, so thank you, Christian. I look forward to my next visit to the store next time I'm in the city. All right, next stop, garbage cans. No, not really. Academy Records. We're gonna go to another record store and go record shopping because I haven't spent enough today, clearly. I love Academy, I usually find some good stuff in here every time I come. Big selection, a lot of digging. I'm exhausted. Let's go do it anyway. Only found one thing at Academy in the East Village, but that's okay. I found David Cross's It's Not Funny comedy album for $10. So this usually retails for maybe $25, $30 when you can find it. But David Cross is one of my favorite comedians. I'm a huge Arrested Development fan, and his stand-up is great as well. So for $10, clean copy, I could not resist grabbing this. But unfortunately beyond this, Academy was not that fruitful for me. Finally, some pretty crazy finds at A1 Records, which is always a crazy place to dig. I found for $25 a early white pressing of Live's Secret Samedi, which is, Live is one of those grunge bands that you may or may not have heard of from the 90s. They had some songs like Lightning Crashes and I Alone and some other pretty big hits at the time. But this is an album that doesn't really have any of their big songs on it. Nothing that was like a massive hit for them. But for $25, it comes with the poster in it too, the 24x24 poster. So that was a crazy find. But the craziest find, this is something I already own, but the price alone, I had to purchase it. And I might have this for sale at TMR Fest, you never know. I was digging underneath some of the crates, and I just saw this sitting there under the crates against the wall for $50. The Radiohead In Rainbows disc box. This is the only version of In Rainbows that is 45 RPM, so it sounds incredible. And this is long out of print. Came with the CDs and the art book, and of course 2 discs, 45 RPM of this album. So this goes for $150 at least, and they priced it at $50. I have no idea why. It's clean. I was shocked. My jaw hit the floor when I saw it, and then I saw the price tag. But yes, this is, I already own one because it's one of my favorite albums, but this could be something that maybe I'll raffle off at TMR Fest or just have in the Grail bin. You never know. But A1 is always full of surprises. So those were the records that I found in New York City. Lots of good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this haul. If you have any questions or want to talk about anything that I found, or if I missed any record stores that you think I should go to, leave a comment. If you're not subscribed to this channel by now, you should definitely do so. Put out videos all the time. More hauls coming soon. More information about TMR Fest in March. Look forward to it. Hope you guys are having a great new year so far, and more videos soon. Take it easy, guys.